You just have to paint. You have to paint. You have to do 100 paintings. She used to say that to me. Before you know you're a painter. And I thought, oh my God, at that time, when will I ever finish 100 paintings? And I did, more than 100 paintings. Through time, some of them were just studies, some of them were finished products, some of them were 7 feet by 3 feet, 8 inches by 8 inches, but the fact is that I painted. So the subject for this segment is what inspires me to be the artist that I am. What inspires me? So maybe I can look back to the times when I was learning how to paint. And at the time, I thought that I needed inspiration to paint. Like most artists say, they need that inspiration, otherwise they can't paint. And true, at that time, I needed the inspiration. I couldn't pick up a brush if I wasn't inspired. And if I had pain brewing in my heart, which by the way, artists say that they are inspired by pain. Well, in my case, when I was in pain, I was actually frozen and I cannot paint until I'm able to emotionally and intellectually process that pain. Then I could paint. So I guess maybe my style of inspiration is different. But as I painted through the years, as I kept on painting through the years, which by the way, my mentor would say that you just have to paint. You have to paint. You have to do 100 paintings. She used to say that to me. Before you know you're a painter. And I thought, oh my God, at that time, when will I ever finish 100 paintings? And I did, more than 100 paintings. Through time, some of them were just studies, some of them were finished products, some of them were 7 feet by 3 feet, 8 inches by 8 inches, but the fact is that I painted. So through time, painting repeatedly, just doing, and you would think that it is just route painting, it actually trains your hand. Just like when you work out at the gym, it trains your muscles, so your hand retains that memory. Believe it or not. As I say, there's a science to everything. There is a science to painting. It retains that memory such that you haven't painted for a long time, you pick up a brush, and it just all comes back. And that is why it is very important that you repeatedly paint. I've painted for so many years, so anyway. But because of that, I realized that I no longer really need that inspiration. And I think the reason why I feel that way now is because through time, as I journeyed, as I conquered my demons, as I worked through my dark moments, life in itself became to me an inspiration. So just to sit at my patio in the morning, and by the way, for filming processes, for filming reasons, I am all dressed up like this. But honestly, early morning, I am in my pajamas and I brew my coffee. I consciously choose the cup that I pick. I guess that is inspiration. I want to be happy, I'll choose a bright colored cup. Right now, I want to remember my trip to Paris. So this is a mug that I picked up in Paris. So I thought, I'd like to remember Paris as I am talking here to you right now. So I picked up this mug. So I'm like that. That in itself is inspiration. I look around me, as I always say, look around you and see that the world is so beautiful. It really is. Even if it is just these leaves on the ground that have fallen off the trees, I see them as golden yellow, golden brown, mustard brown. That's how my eyes see. And that in itself is inspiration. I do not have to consciously tell myself, inspire me. I am just naturally inspired by everything around me. this still life in the back. I see the world as a still life. I can paint that. That in itself is beauty. That in itself is inspiration. So that is where I draw my inspiration to create art. So if you have followed me through time, through social media, through my videos, you hear me talking about live the life that you want to live. So how do we create that life that we want to live? I honestly believe that living the life you want to live is a discipline. It is a learned discipline. It is not something that just happens spontaneously. If you are someone with a dark past, if you are someone with demons, it's even more difficult to bring yourself from that place to a place of light. If you are someone who always lives in a place of light, I think it would be a challenge to also see the difference between light and day, between darkness and light, and therefore have that gratitude to see what you have now and create that life that you want to have. So how do I do it for myself? For now, and I have trained myself to do this, I surround myself with things that I love. I buy art from other artists that I love. I love my girlfriend Rebecca's pottery, whose work you will see later. I buy her pottery. I use them every day. I use them on my table because as I see them, it brings me joy. It brings me inspiration. With that in your heart, you will just be guided to live that life that you want to live. All of a sudden, doors will just open for you. Unlimited possibilities will open for you. So, do you like what you're hearing? I think you do, because I'm sure you want to live the life that you want to live. So follow me to my YouTube channel. Be inspired. Live that life that you dream to have, like many others.